So we've been here now for a week, and just been praying, and we have heard so many stories and talked with people that was a part of the revival here, and also heard stories about what happened before. So we just wanted to catch some of it on film. So maybe you just want to present yourself and share something, share about what happened and what God did in your life and what you saw.
I just want to say say greetings and sending so much hope to the church in Norway. It's an exciting time for the church, and we're really seeing, as C.S. Lewis says, Aslan is on the move. We're seeing him moving around the world, roaring, but with gentleness and humility. So just to introduce myself, my name is Rob Lim. I'm a professor here at the university, at Asbury University, and just want to let you know, as a testimony, the Lord has been doing extraordinary things here. No doubt you've seen it through the news, but on Wednesday the 8th of February, there was a very ordinary chapel service that was held. We have compulsory chapel services for all our students here every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. But that service on Wednesday, despite being ordinary, God did something extraordinary through it, and the chapel service never ended. And you've probably seen all the social media. But what has been so amazing about this particular chapel service is how the Lord has done it. I want to testify to you that the Lord has really been pouring out His Spirit on Generation Z. And I want you to again think about your own Generation Z in your own country, let alone the whole world, where they have been facing. They have been the COVID generation that have faced their high school in COVID. They're facing identity crises, mental health issues, depression issues, deconstruction of faith issues, social media, online addiction. There's been so many of these things which are coming towards them, and people have written them off as the most difficult generation to touch for the gospel. Yet the Lord in His marvelous way have reached out to them with what I like to call unplugged Jesus. There's been, the day that it started, there was literally just a group of people that were worshipping, but with so much zeal, with no guitar, no drum kit, no PowerPoint, no lyrics, no lights, nothing. They really just had a bare bones presentation of the gospel, yet the Lord showed up to them in such a mighty way that I like to call it they've accelerated in their spiritual maturity. 10 years in 3 days. You're seeing youths that were so adverse to the gospel suddenly believe Christ and are willing to go out 3 days later to testify in other universities and campuses around how much the Lord has touched and changed their life. You're seeing youths that are going out there asking other youths to come in because they have seen the significant and supernatural transformation in their own life. And I want to let you know as well that even though this was occurring in an extraordinary way, the Lord was also supernaturally assisting them in their ordinary work too. We were still holding classes here, and they were still going about their sports, their class, and everything. Again, it's like as if the Lord had supernaturally equipped them in just a few days to be able to handle His overwhelming love, to give them a great compulsion to declare the gospel bravely in front of other youth and young adult, but supernaturally do all of this in the midst of their own daily work. It reminds me of Colossians 3:23, and everything you do it as if you're doing it for the Lord and not for man. And we've been witnessing this, but more importantly, because it's been going out and they've been testifying and others have been coming to visit, we have seen this move of God spread. And I believe the Holy Spirit is blowing through the land of the USA, and not only the USA but the world. And we are seeing what we are seeing in Hughes Auditorium, which is the chapel at Asbury University. We're really seeing the walls break down, and we're seeing the Lord do what I think is the start of a great awakening. So I just want to give encouragement to everyone in Norway that we are praying and we believe the Lord is blowing His wind across the continents of Europe as well as all the other continents of the world. And be expectant, be hungry, be thirsty. not for things that we can manufacture, but hungry and thirsty for the Lord to pour out His Spirit in a way that only He can do it. And I want to let you know what the characteristics of this move of God have really been held up by. We really believe in the university that there have been 4 things that characterize this move of God. One is radical humility, that it hasn't been led by any one person, that there hasn't been any celebrity preacher or worship leader. It has literally been Gen Z that have led it, and a rotation of people, and we have been so fearful of taking any glory away from the Lord. So radical humility. The other has been this sense of unity. There have been so many different tribes and tongues represented in the room, and so many different denominations, yet no one talked about each other's difference because everyone was only focused on magnifying Christ. The third thing was this overwhelming sense of love, that everyone felt assured as being a son and daughter of the living God, and they had assurance and hope through that. And finally, this sense of a return to holiness. Can you believe that Gen Z is wanting holiness, not from a rule book perspective, not wanting to follow rules, but they're wanting holiness because God is holy. And this thirst and this hunger they have for truth, it's being manifest in a desire to want to be like God, to be holy as I am holy. And it's such a beautiful thing to watch. And so they are the 4 things that have really characterized what this movement has been like: radical humility, unity, love, and a return to holiness. But just know that we're praying for you all in Norway, and we're praying that the walls of Hughes break and we see His Spirit flow to the ends of the earth.